This next one says, what is the abomination of desolation for the SDA people at the end of time? What does it mean to us as a people of God?
The abomination of desolation, it spoken of in Daniel, Jesus quoted in Matthew, is talking about where Rome is standing where it should not be standing.
Yeah.
And where should Rome not be standing? In changing God's law.
Yeah.
So when the full Sabbath is enforced, we are standing where we should not be standing. Rome's influence as the image to the beast is set up. So that's the Sunday law, but primarily. And in Jesus' time, in Jerusalem's time, is when Rome circled Jerusalem. They were standing on holy ground around the holy city. But when they circle this Jerusalem and they stand on holy ground, Rome should never be standing on violation of the conscience. And when the U.S. government creates the image to Rome and starts violating consciences by passing a law saying you have to obey the image to the beast, then we have the abomination of desolation. I know that it has further implications. I've heard other explanations that also lend to the depth of understanding, which I don't understand all of it yet. But that's the primary thing, the abomination of desolation. What causes disaster, what brings this nation to its knees, is creating an image to the beast. And when that happens, the great clock of time begins. The day that it happens, you and I will know. Start your calendar. Mark it on the calendar. 1, 2, 3. At 30 days or 45 days is when the universal Sunday law will happen. Probably 30, because in past history it was the difference between 1260 and 1290 was 30 years. So probably in literal time it'll be 30 days, because it will be the same thing. So 30 days after the Sunday law here will be the universal Sunday law, most probably. Like I said, until it happens, we never understand it perfectly. After it happens, confirmation begins to happen, and we begin to see the bigger picture, but we're watching and we understand a little bit fuzzy. But once it happens, we can put the nail in, like when Martin Luther put up the 95 Theses. I saw a T-shirt that said, "Nailed it." And then there was Martin Luther putting up the 90, he said, "Nailed it." That's exactly right. And so we'll understand it, and we're going to go out and we're going to preach these things, and we're going to know exactly when the close of probation will be. We're going to know how long, probably 45 days for the pouring out of the last the plagues, and then blessed is he that comes to the 1335 days. That's when they declared death sentence, and at midnight on all of God's people. And at midnight is when God, darkness, an earthquake, and he declares his covenant, confirms his covenant, and he declares the day and hour of his coming.
So that's going to happen at the end of the
1335.
Okay. So all the timelines.
All the timelines fit perfectly, but like I said, once it happens, then we can know for sure. Because right now there are several ways of connecting the timelines.
So 1335 starts in your mind
at the same time.
At the same time
as the National Sunday Law.
1290 days.
Correct.
Okay.
1290, then Rome will have power for 1260 only.
Yeah.
So 30 days after the National Sunday Law, the Universal Sunday Law, then you have 1260 of Rome. That's a 42 months. The first beast of Revelation 13 has 42 months, right? And then at that point, when the close of probation happens, that when the plagues start coming out, the 10 kings, which do not have a kingdom as yet, but they lend all their power to the beast, those 10 kings will realize they've been duped and deceived. Because they're receiving the plagues, and they look at the Pope, he's receiving the plagues too. And they look at all the priests, the Catholic priests that have been involved in manipulating governments, they're all receiving the plagues. And then they look at the Christians and the Adventists, and they say they're not receiving the plagues. Then they turn and they burn the whore and devour her flesh.
Wow.
Because they realize they've been lied to, but it's too late. So the kings then turn on Rome. But a clear understanding as we see it happening, but basically 1335 and 1290 begin at the same time. 1260 begins 30 days later, and then at the close of probation, you have 45 days left over for the plagues and the declaration of the death sentence. and God confirms his fact. That's my understanding, but until it happens, we'll know better.